Hello aspirants, welcome to this special session of VisionIAS. Today we will talk about preparation for Prelims Examination 2024 and a very important initiative of VisionIAS for Prelims, Abhyaas. To discuss this with us, we have today esteemed faculty of VisionIAS, Rajesh sir. Welcome sir.
Thank you, Karan.
Sir, as the exam is on 16th of June, student will face various challenges now preparing between the time that has been left. So what are these specific challenges that student may face while preparing in this time period?
The students who are going to appear for 2024, they are facing many challenges. The most important challenge most of the students would face is the focus areas. What are the important areas which they have to concentrate upon right now? Because they have prepared for the entire year, there are so many subjects. And in that, which one is important, which one is not important, how much weightage should be given to each of the subject, that to narrow down is a big challenge. The second important challenge is the way of revision, the way how to do the revision. Whether should they focus on revising every aspect of the general studies or concentrate on only few of the aspects. The third one is the time management. How to manage the time effectively, which this short period of time, so what to focus, what not to focus. So the time management would be the third challenge, I would say.
So sir, as you have mentioned, focus areas as well as how to do revision, these are very significant challenges that student faces. So how to tackle these challenges?
The first one is focus area. It's very important to understand what is the strength and weakness of each candidate. The general studies subject can be divided into two parts, the static part and current affairs part. The static part includes the subjects like history, geography, economics and polity, the traditional aspects. The current affairs includes the current events which have happened in the last 2 years. Okay, so that may be with respect to the general awareness, general knowledge, as well as with respect to these specific subjects. So we have to clearly differentiate between these two areas. And then we have to identify what is our strength, what is our weakness. For the entire year, whatever each of the student has done. If a student has focused more on the static area, now he has to give more focus on the current affairs. Okay, so and vice versa too. And this can be done very easily with the help of previous year's questions. So from the previous year's questions, we can note down the important areas, important themes, and identify where we have worked till now and where we should work more. The previous year's questions are the key here to identify the important focus area and strategize according to the personal level. So that is regarding focus area. The second important challenge is how to do revision. So first of all, revision, should we do revision? Yes, of course. Because many of the students think that they can just keep reading till the last day and they can just go and attempt the exam. So that is, I would say, total foolishness. Because unless you revise, you will not be able to recollect in the exam. So I would say for static part, at least 3 to 4 times of revision. And for current affairs, at least 4 to 5 times of revision before prelims. The more you revise, the more you retain. So how to strategize this revision? On daily basis, you have to dedicate some time for the revision of static part and some time for the revision of current affairs. And again, you have to give your understanding, your own preparation. If you have done more static part till now, give more time for current affairs, revision part. And what are the areas, what are the sources from where you have to do the revision? Most importantly, wherever you have studied till now, you have to revise that material only. Because that is what you are going to recollect in the examination. People tend to think that if you read from more different sources, you will be able to recollect more. That is wrong. If you read any particular source multiple times, you will be able to recollect that in a better manner than reading multiple different sources. And there is also a tendency that students go for all the different possible sources and go in search of the best source. And in UPSC, there is no best source as such. Whatever you are studying, that is the best source. You have to do it. You have to do the revision in a best possible manner. So I would say this is the strategy for revision. And along with revision, practice is must. And without practice, you don't know whether you are revising effectively and whatever you are studying, whether it is going right or not. So for that, you have to practice at regular intervals.
Sir, as you mentioned, like given 2 months are left now for prelims, time management will also become a very crucial challenge. So how can our aspirants manage their time effectively, provided that they only have 2 months left?
Yes. So, the most important challenge is actually time management. So, students feel that they have very less time. The truth is everyone have same amount of time. It's that we have to manage it most effectively. How to manage the time most effectively? Follow a fixed routine. Daily divide your study time into 3 parts, I would say. The first part is for the static, okay, where you have to go through the different subjects, the traditional parts, because sometimes UPSC gives more focus to this part and you cannot ignore that. The second, the time of the day should be the current affairs. Whatever the source you are following for current affairs, for example, PT365, the compilation of the entire year's current events. So, thoroughly revise it. And the third part of your day should be for practice. At least half an hour to 1 hour each day should be given for practice, so that you are in the mode of solving the question. So, this is the way you have to divide the time of the day. And at the same time, it is very much important that you take out some time out of your studies, do something interesting or leisure, at least some time of the day, so that you rejuvenate your energy and come back the next day. And most importantly, don't stress too much regarding achieving the target, achieving 100%, doing things perfectly. I would say if you are able to fulfill the daily targets, you should be happy about it, go back to sleep happily and come back again do the same, repeat the same process freshly. Okay, so the focus should be on the present, not on the future.
So as you mentioned about practice, it becomes a very key component of preparation. And Abhyaas initiative of VisionIAS, it is also related to practice. So can you throw some light on what is Abhyaas and what is the various features of Abhyaas that will help our aspirants in their preparation?
As the name itself says, Abhyaas means practice. So I told you, third part of your day should be about practice. Whatever we are going to read, whether it is going in the right direction or not, whether it is sufficient for the UPSC or not, how do we get to know? By practicing in the UPSC setup. Through Abhyaas, we are trying to give the exact pattern of UPSC examination in the same time of the day. You get to attempt in the same examination environment. Through this, you can assess your own performance, your own preparation, whether you are doing it in a right way or not, the first thing. And then comes your comparative analysis. Because you may be thinking that you are doing right, but you are not sure whether it is sufficient or not. For that, Abhyaas gives you at all India level a ranking through which you can compare your performance with respect to others, so that you know where you exactly stand. And third, most importantly, with this you can see which areas you have to focus more on, where you have to improve upon. So it will give an edge over others. So you are ready before you are actually going for UPSC examination. Because many of the times when you are there in UPSC, you will make a lot of mistakes. So Abhyaas is an opportunity for you to do those mistakes before the UPSC exam itself.
So sir, as you have pointed out, Abhyaas becomes a very important tool to have in your arsenal for preparation for prelims examination. So how can our aspirant integrate Abhyaas initiative with their preparation? Given that we are providing 3 tests in Abhyaas, so what is the best possible way to integrate these 3 tests in their preparation?
Abhyaas can be integrated by the students in their preparation using the most important feature of Abhyaas, that is post-test analysis. Once you get the result of Abhyaas, you will also get the thorough analysis of your entire performance in the test, in which section you have done well, in which section you have not done well. So that gives you an assessment where exactly you can improvise, so that you can work upon this and come back and write Abhyaas again and again give better performance, so that you will do well in your prelims too. It is also important that students should attempt Abhyaas in the same mindset as they are going to attempt UPSC exam itself. Because many of the times they keep thinking that their preparation is not complete, whether it is right to give exam at this point of time or not, because they will think that their confidence will come down. But rather, I would say, by analyzing their performance, by looking into the areas where they can improvise, their confidence will again get boosted up. If you come to the Abhyaas test center and give your examination and give your best performance, you will get to know where exactly you are standing and where else you can work upon and do all those mistakes so that you can go confidently to UPSC without any kind of fear that you will not do the same mistakes again over there. In addition to that, if one also requires support from VisionIAS to assess their performance and analyze the areas of improvement, they can also take the support of one-to-one mentorship.
So sir, now coming to one of your area of expertise, geography. How should our aspirants approach the geography subject for prelims examination, provided the trend we have seen in recent years?
Based on the previous papers of UPSC, one can clearly see that geography's weightage has increased. In the last few years, we are seeing 15 to 20 questions out of 100 in geography itself. One of the important area in that has been mapping. Other than mapping, the static part of geography, the conceptual aspects of geography. The major area of coverage is Indian geography, and one has to thoroughly cover NCERTs for this and be ready with the entire static part of geography and also add some current affairs related to the economic aspects. This one has to cover.
Sir, as you mentioned that weightage of mapping has also increased, and we can see a lot of questions are now coming from this mapping part. So how should our aspirant approach mapping for geography?
I would say nearly 40 to 50% of the questions in geography and some of the questions in environment and some questions in international relations would come from mapping aspect. So the total weightage would be around 10 out of 100. And mapping is one area, if you do it thoroughly, you will get that questions for sure. So how to cover this mapping? First, go through the previous papers. You will analyze all the important areas from where the questions have been coming. And you will be able to understand how the questions and the nature of the questions. And based on that, prepare some static part of mapping through Atlas, the important areas which one has to cover, one has to know if you are studying geography. The second, the current locations. The locations in news, thoroughly go through the important locations in news and make a list of them and mark it on the Atlas. And most important part, revision. Without revision, one cannot retain the mapping locations.
Sir, as limited time is now available for prelims, our aspirants will be preparing very rigorously in this particular time period. This may also take a toll on their mental health. So how to tackle this issue of mental health like anxiety and stress for the prelims examination?
So the most important reason behind the anxiety at this point of time is their worry about the result. There are two things. The first, there is work. Second, there is result. The result cannot follow the work. You have to focus on the work. Only an excellent work can give you excellent result. The result can never come before the work, right? If you want to give excellent work, your mind should be calm. Your mind should not be thinking about the result. If you are too much worried about the result, in an anxious mind, in a stress, you will not be able to perform better. Your overall performance will come down. With lower performance, lower result. We have to keep it simple. The solution is stop thinking about the result. The only option you have is completely focus on the work. Be in the present. Give your best. Trust the process. The result will automatically follow. That is all I can say.
Thank you, sir, for guiding our aspirants. So aspirants, try to inculcate the tips and techniques that sir have pointed out in your preparation and do attempt Abhas, which can be a game changer for your prelims preparation. And all the best for your 2024 prelims from VisionIAS. Thank you.